Well, good morning, Icon. Welcome to Icon Church Online. I'm so glad that all of you are here today. My name is Kelly, and I'm the lead pastor here. And I just so look forward to Sundays and being able to spend the morning online with all of you. I was telling Dan right before we started, I was looking at the camera, and I feel like I look really my bun looks really pixelated today. Like I kind of look kind of video gamey, so maybe it's because the bun. We actually had to adjust the camera because like when we first started, it was like my bun was being cut off, so it's very large and in charge today. So anyway, I have Texas
church wife
Texas church
bun hair going
today.
on right now.
But I'm so glad that all of you are here. I hope everyone has their coffee. I've got mine in my No Drama Llama mug. So, I mean, that's a word for right now is no drama because I feel like there's drama everywhere we look. So here's to no drama, the No Drama Llama. I hope that all of you are having a great morning. We have a really great service planned for all of you today. And before we get going with that and get into worship and what we have for today, just a few kind of orders of business to go over. So one is the Connect card. So if you're new at Icon, if you've been coming around for a little while, or maybe you've been coming around for a while and you just haven't had a chance to fill this out yet, we'd love for you to click on that Connect button and fill out your information. It's just a way for us to be able to have access to keeping you up to date on the things that we have going on around here. So via email, there's emails that go out. You can download the Icon app so you can get notifications just whenever we're having like an in-person gathering, or if we have a certain kind of outing that we're planning, or when there's special things coming up. That's just a way for you to be able to stay in the know for everything that we have going on. And then the next thing is, I think as we kind of look out in the world and how everything, can just be kind of wild at times, and, school has started and we all have a lot of things going on. And we just, I know one of the hard things about being mostly online is just we aren't having that regular time to be together to be able to pray for one another. I think that's a really special aspect of church, is being able to join with each other in prayer. But we can still do that even though we're online. So if you have a prayer request this morning, or maybe you just need to kind of share some needs in your life with someone, you would just like for someone to be able to pray with you, you can click on that prayer button in the chat. And it will take you to a separate window where one of our hosts will meet you, and you can let them know what those needs are and they can pray for you. And then lastly, for all of you who continue to give faithfully to Icon, thank you so much for your generosity. We all know that that's how churches function, is through the collective sharing of resources of the people who are a part of that church. And so we all know that Icon would not exist if it was not for your generosity. So thank you so much for just continuing to give. And maybe today, maybe you're in a place where, you are really struggling financially. Maybe there's just some bills that need to be paid, or maybe you're struggling. Maybe you've lost a job, or maybe there's just unexpected expenses that have come your way. And as the church, we believe that it is important that we take care of one another. And so if you find yourself in a place of need, we would love for you to send us an email. When we were gathering in person, we used to do what's called a reverse offering, where we would say just take cash out of the bucket, but obviously we can't pass a bucket online. So if you do have some needs, feel free to email us and let us know so we can assess those and partner with you in any way that we can to help you meet those needs. Now here in a second, we are going to go into a time of worship with Arlene, and then I will come back on just for a brief couple of minutes to kind of talk a little bit about the series that we're in, and to let you know about our special guest that we have today. And then at the end, we'll go into that, and then at the end I'll come back for a few short words before we go. But now we're going to go ahead and go into a time of worship. So whatever feels comfortable for you, whatever way you can best connect with God during this time, maybe just use these few minutes of worship to just kind of center yourself and to remind yourself of God's goodness, that you are loved, that you are not alone. And then we'll come back after that. So please join us for some worship.
searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise and treasures that fade are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley, and there's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You Can't go back to the beginning. Can't control what tomorrow will bring. But I know here in the middle is the place where you promised to be. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? As I walk now through the valley, let your love rise above every fear, like the sun shaping the shadow. In my weakness, your glory appears. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet is all you are. Will you meet me here again? I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? Oh, yes, God.
Well, thank you so much, Arlene, for that beautiful time of worship. So I'm really excited about today. We are in week 2 of our series that's called Where is the Good? Where we just decided in a world that very much feels like a dumpster fire 99% of the time, that it really is important that while we are in the middle of facing hard circumstances, while we're in the middle of doing the work of love and justice in this world, and facing a lot of really difficult things, that it's important that we are intentional about looking for the good. That, yes, there are a lot of things to be angry about. There are a lot of things that feel very weighty. There are a lot of things that we can be very anxious about right now. But I think at the end of the day, if we don't have outlets where we can actually channel that into doing good for our communities, it's going to eat us alive. And so we have to, in these days, be so intentional about looking for the good and celebrating that good, and then partnering with others to be able to do good work, to be able to spread love and hope and justice in our communities. And so last week we had an interview with my friend Calla Parker with World Relief, where we talked about the work that they're doing with refugees, and in the ways in which Icon can partner with that. And so today we have another guest. Her name is Jana Whittier, and she's from an organization called Community in Schools, and we're going to bring her on in just a minute, and she has a presentation for all of you where she's going to introduce herself and talk about the work that she does in this amazing organization that we as a church actually have an opportunity to get involved right here in our very own community here in Hays County. So I'm really excited about sharing this opportunity with all of you today. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with playing a brief video, and then after that we will invite Jana to come on so she can give her presentation. Also, I want to encourage you that during the presentation, if you have any questions for her, go ahead and just put it in the chat, and when she wraps up everything that she has to say, we can go ahead and go back and address those questions and give her a chance to answer any of the questions that you may have. So let's go ahead and play the video, and then after that we'll bring Jana on.
At Communities and Schools of Central Texas, our mission is to surround students with a community of support, empowering them to stay in school and achieve in life. We know that when students are hungry, tired, or preoccupied with worry, they cannot focus on learning. For students dealing with bullying, the effects of trauma, poverty, and other challenges, sometimes just showing up for class can be overwhelming. This is where Communities and Schools of Central Texas comes in, to complement the good work teachers and administrators are already doing. Communities and Schools is a partner of the school with an office on campus. CIS connects students to caring adults and local resources to remove barriers so that all students can reach their full potential. We start by placing highly trained and qualified professionals to work full-time directly in elementary, middle, and high school campuses. They meet with teachers, counselors, and parents to identify students with the greatest obstacles. Then they create a plan tailored to each student's specific needs. Supports include one-on-one and peer group time focusing on things like regulating emotions, anger management, self-esteem, goal setting, academics, and making positive choices. During times of crisis, Communities and Schools continues to provide critical supports to students and their families, even when the campus is closed. CIS is all in for kids in school and beyond. Communities and Schools provides basic needs essentials to students, including school supplies, bus passes, hygiene items, clothing, and snack packs. When students have their basic needs met, they are ready to learn. CIS expands horizons, offering after-school activities, service learning projects, university and college tours, meeting with mentors, tutors, and reading buddies, and hearing from guest speakers. The CIS model is evidence-based, adapted to meet each community's unique needs, and proven successful in improving academics, attendance, and behavior. CIS supports a positive climate and culture on campus. We help with conflict resolution, provide trauma training, and share strategies for supporting positive student behavior. A national survey found that the majority of teachers surveyed believe that having communities and schools on campus improves their effectiveness by helping students be more engaged, more committed to learning, and better prepared for class. Our commitment to success for all students brings communities together. Thank you for being part of that community of support. Learn more at ciscentraltexas.org.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and bring Jana on here. Hey, there we go.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, hold on. We got to
There we
unmute.
go.
Okay, there we go. I think you're unmuted now.
Well, good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you're here today to share with us. I'm going to go ahead and just turn it over to you for you to be able to give your presentation. And then, like I said, I've invited people to ask questions. And so if anybody has any, once you're finished, I will let you know what those are, and then you can address those as we go. So we'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Right, terrific. Good morning, everyone. That was lovely worship. Nice time to just be still and to reflect. So thank you for that. My name is Jana Whittier. I'm the Community Outreach Specialist for Communities and Schools of Central Texas. We are the nation's largest dropout prevention program. And as you heard in the video, our mission is to surround students with a community of support so that they stay in school and achieve in life. And I have just a very short slide deck to show you. It tells a little bit more about the impact, and then it also breaks down a little bit about the roles that volunteers can do. And there are other opportunities as well in the event you are not able to commit to a once a week hour-long session. So with that said, let's get those slides going. So we are all about relationships. We bring the resources to the students as opposed to families having to go out into the communities. And as the video said, we have campus-based professionals at each campus. We have 100 campuses across 7 districts. And yes, Hays County is covered with San Marcos, Buda, Kyle, and also on the fringe, we have Lockhart and several other communities that go all the way to Elgin and Manor. So we are all about relationship building for that social emotional support. And then as the next slide shows, you will see the impact that our mission has. We do indeed see our dropout rates decrease. We see improvement in attendance, behavior, and academics. And yes, more so than ever, we need to continue the positive impact we have with social and emotional support. Some of these children have not been on a campus in 18 months. Some of them have been solely virtual. So a lot of those relationships and that opportunity to build a trusting relationship with an adult has been paused. And so we're excited about getting things started. And even more so now, we're also putting a large emphasis on our alums and helping them with college and career readiness. So we will be looking more and more into post-secondary as well. And then the next slide will tell you about some of the different roles. We'll start to share about volunteering with CIS. So as a trusted, caring adult, you serve as a role model. And all the volunteers, whether they come in as a reading buddy or a tutor or a pen pal, you're all serving as mentors to help a student build a healthy and meaningful relationship, to help them see beyond themselves and to gain new interests and broaden their horizons. It's also an opportunity to give back to your community, which Kelly spoke to, which is lovely. And then the next slide will start to break down some of those roles. So we have reading buddies, which are primarily based in elementary schools. We ask for that to be a 30 to 45-minute commitment. By the time you check in and then meet up with your student and do a get to know you activity, it does come out to about an hour a week commitment. And again, reading buddies are in our elementary schools, and we do want to continue to help with literacy support well into middle school as well. You can see it builds confidence, it helps expand vocabulary, and it helps students express themselves confidently and clearly. And then next we have an example of, I believe, tutors. No, pardon me, mentors. So as I said, everyone really is serving as a role model. So you're all under the umbrella of a mentor, whether you're a reading buddy or a tutor. Mentors are for all ages, and more so than ever, we need mentors. We need mentors in the middle school and tutors in the middle school, but we also need mentors with our high schoolers and our elementary students. It gives an opportunity for a student to be heard, to be encouraged, to build those meaningful relationships. And again, we ask for the mentor role to be a year-long commitment, whereas the reading buddy or tutor can be a semester commitment. But we do ask that mentors be a year-long commitment, serving 45 minutes to an hour each week. And then next is details about tutors. So we need all subjects covered, but of course, math and science is a big need. It provides, again, that caring adult role model, support and encouragement, and really, you may not, it's been a long time since you've maybe been in middle school math class or middle school science class. So we don't expect you to be an expert, but we do need homework helpers with our kiddos. And again, tutors for all ages, elementary and then middle school math. And we want to keep that reading development going well into middle school. And then the next talks a little bit about pen pals. We're not seeing a big request from our program staff right now about pen pals. However, if that's what is more comfortable, we can certainly look into that. It's a every other week letter exchange. You email those letters, or you can mail it hard copy to the campus where your student is. And then the student replies in those intermittent weeks. We do know that pen pals do help improve vocabulary, and it also, again, helps expand the horizons of a student because they're getting to learn more about an adult, perhaps your travels or your journey to college, your journey to the career of your choice. And so we try to have a myriad of options for our volunteers. And the next slide, I believe, will talk about the onboarding process, how to get started. We know that in some instances, a 1-hour commitment a week may not be feasible. So there are other ways to get involved, one-time volunteer events or doing in-kind drives, such as comfort kits or arts and craft kits. You may even have just a hygiene drive where you pull shampoo and conditioner for all hair types, and deodorant and toothpaste and toothbrushes. And so there's a lot of different ways to wrap ourselves around our students and their families to offer support. So the onboarding process includes an application. There's a short orientation module, lasts about 17 minutes. You get to hear from our CEO, myself, and AmeriCorps Vista, Dulce Montoya. And then there's a 20 to 30 minute screening scheduled. That's just to kind of feel things out a bit more and to learn your interests so we can be better supported in the matching process. There's a 1-hour training. So if you all come in as a group and want to support one campus, I can do that training with all of you. We also record all of our trainings so we can make those available in that manner. We also request a criminal background check. We've worked through some of the processes, and we now know that if you're supporting Hayes or San Marcos, You do the volunteer application and criminal background check through them. It's a short application with them, but you do the criminal background check through their district and then still complete the onboarding requirements with us. And then we identify that campus match, and then it moves forward with an introductory meeting with that program staff member, an introduction to the kiddo, and then you get started. If we find ourselves in a virtual atmosphere, we do have supports for that. We have an ebook platform to do reading buddies virtually, and we also have resource sheets about online games to support literacy, math, and science concepts. So that tells you a little bit about CIS as far as the volunteer roles and also the onboarding process. Here's a way you can connect with us: volunteer at ciscentraltexas.org, or you can go online to ciscentraltexas.org and check out our website and click on the volunteer page to learn more. We will be enhancing that volunteer page in the weeks to come, so definitely check us out. If you're interested in becoming a mentor, we'd like to get those individuals placed in the month of October. Thank you so much for your time and inviting me to participate in your service today. I appreciate it. And it's always good to see a different approach. And I appreciate Kelly and the communications with me to get to this day. I'm not able to hear you, Kelly. I'm not sure if the
All right.
Sorry, that was
Can
my
you hear
fault.
me? Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, good. Like I said, we're not like the most professional over here. So, no, but just thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing that with us. I know that when you and I talked a while back just about community and schools and the work that you're doing, I was just so inspired by just the good things that CIS is doing in these schools and in these communities. And I was wondering if you could maybe share a little bit about some of the things, like I know you had talked about some of the things that CIS did during the winter storm, just ways that community in schools has just kind of impacted the community at large. Can you maybe talk about maybe some specific stories, maybe of kids that particularly were impacted, or just ways that community in schools has been able to rally and really support the community at large?
Over this last year, we've always been about families and family support. We have homework help nights and also reading nights, etc. But over this last year, we really realized how important it was to build a basic needs department. So we supply back to school supplies. Hundreds of backpacks were given out. Hundreds and hundreds of hygiene products were given out. And yes, during the snowpocalypse, we found ourselves in about a week to 2 week turnaround. Usually our basic needs department supports our families to the tune of about $45,000 a month.
Wow.
That also includes bus passes and Lyft certificates to be able to get ride shares for free. Also includes rent assistance. But during snowpocalypse, in a 2 week turnaround, we raised $289,000 to help families with their rent, with moving to new places, to help them with their utility bills. We still do ongoing utility bills assistance. We work with the Austin area diaper bank to supply diapers, sometimes to the tune of 6,000 diapers a month for all those in the family that need it. You know, a really special example that has just really hit my heart is Ray Saldana is our national president. Well, Ray was a graduate in San Antonio. He became a first generation college student and college graduate. He came back to San Antonio and his friend said, "Hey, Ray, you should run for city council." And he became the youngest city council member of San Antonio and is now the youngest president ever known to CIS National. And he himself was a CIS kid. So he himself was a CIS kid in San Antonio and has made it all the way. What an example.
Yeah, everything you're saying right now about even just the support that is extended to the families, like $280,000 in like 2 weeks that's
In
Unbelievable.
HEB gift cards and Visa gift cards, and it just grew and grew. The piles and piles of gift cards. We had leaders running to like 100 miles away because HEB only gives out so many gift cards at once. So
Wow.
they were having to go to HEBs all over, everywhere, all over to be able to buy enough Visa cards. And we were just giving stacks and stacks of Visa cards to families just to buy
Wow.
groceries. Some of our own members, like one program director was delivering 114 meals.
Wow.
Myself, I went out to Elgin and I helped deliver meals from Hungry Souls. They provided the meals and we drove out. Some of our families are really, really out in rural areas. So to be able to get resources, so everything from water to diapers, you name it.
It's so amazing. And I love how you were saying when you were showing the slides, how when kids have their, like, those important needs met, that it really does. I mean, if a kid is hungry, if a kid, all of those things, it makes it so difficult for them to be able to learn, and to be able to be fully present in a school environment. And so, yeah, just the work that CIS is doing is just incredible. I mean, and I think it's so amazing. There are a couple of questions in the chat that I'll go ahead and read to you, and then you can speak to those. The first one is, of the various opportunities to volunteer that you shared, what do you think is currently the biggest need?
Right now, reading buddies in our elementary schools that's always a high need for us, and especially out in the areas, the Buda and Kyle, as you can imagine, Austin, pools, but our rural communities need that reading support. And then recently, when I saw the STAR tests, they said that math and literacy support in our middle schools is also going to be very paramount.
I could see that, especially right now in the middle of a pandemic where, I know so many kids being virtual. I mean, I know firsthand as a parent that for some kids,
Right.
that really can put them in a place where they're really struggling academically, So yeah, I think that it's really important right now for people to get involved.
17 and 18-year-olds are, they start to be more and more independent and not so apt to want to give away their lunch hour. But we have like the XY Zone, which is a community of support around our high school males. And so, and then a lot of times people think about those elementary kiddos, but it's that 11 to 14-year-old,
Yeah.
and statistically they say if a third grader is not at reading level, the potential of them dropping out of school is very, very high. I remember over a decade ago, I heard that if a third grader male of color is not at reading level, that there is a higher potential of them being incarcerated. And that's how
Wow.
Texas decides how many prisons to build, is
Oh
based upon
my.
the reading scores of third graders. That's way too young. We have
Yeah.
a God that never changes. We have a God that was the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So we're not going to give up on our third graders.
Yep.
We're going to keep doing reading development well into middle school. We're going to keep advocating for these kids well into high school. We're going to
Yeah.
get these kids to graduate
Yeah.
and on to certifications, college, whatever their path opens up before them. We're going to help them get through those doors.
Yeah, and even just as you're talking, even I'm just like, just what a testament of. And I know that CIS is not like a Christian organization, so I'm not saying that, but I do know that you are a person of faith, and I think when I think about this organization, I'm like, that's like the gospel. That's good news. That is, stepping in and helping kids get to a place where they are going to be able to thrive in their life, and have this abundant life that, that we always talk about as Christians, as part of our faith. And so I just think this is just such a awesome extension of the gospel, of just meeting needs and coming alongside people and sharing, our time and our resources, for people that need it. And so another question in the chat is, kind of a twofold. First, how did Community in Schools start? How did it originate? And then how has your personal faith impacted why you do what you do with Community in Schools?
Those are great questions. All questions are good. So I'm not going to quote the exact year, so pardon me for that. As I joined CIS March 30th, 2020. So all of my learning environment has been in a virtual world. So it's interesting what you pick up and what you don't get.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Bill Milliken was himself in, I believe, 1972, was walking the streets of New York, had quit high school, and an adult mentor stepped into his life and said, "Oh, we need to help you get your GED." And so Bill Milliken started Communities in Schools in the state of New York, and it has now grown to the nation's largest dropout prevention program.
Wow. Wow.
And he was also, I think, I've not read the book, but he's also the author, I believe, of that tough love movement. So how to hold a child accountable to keep them in school. So it's kind of interesting. And I don't want to be misquoted on that, but yes, Bill Milliken. And I have the book within arm's reach that he has. And then I think the second question is, how has my faith impacted?
Why you do what you do. Yeah.
Well, I can say that, I've had some paradigm shifts indeed, coming into a virtual world, a lot of screen time. But the one thing I've been able to bring to the table, if you will, is a sense of optimism and a sense of hope. I recently heard hope is a discipline. So as I bring faith, I bring hope, I bring love. I'm real personable. I'm kind of outspoken. So everyone pretty much knows where I go to church. They're all fully aware that I'm a believer. And so some of us have, even in our leadership team, have talked about, surrounding our new land with a circle of prayer. And so I even paused the other day with my AmeriCorps Vista after kind of a little stressful day before doing a training. I said, "May I pray with you?" And so it has, I've always been a servant leader. I've always been about multicultural and communities and diversity. So for me, it's grounded my faith in being a servant leader. It's also helped me know how much more work there is to be done and how important it is to let our light shine in a hurting world, and to give hope, to spread and share hope. Who would have ever known? Who would have ever known? God knew when he brought this pandemic. He knew when this was allowed to happen. So, but who would have ever known that we'd be in these different spaces, and we have an opportunity to make an impact and to cultivate that unconditional love and to demonstrate our faith in wonderful ways.
Yeah, no, that's so good. That's so good. It's like our faith is never meant to be kept something that's just for us. Like, the essence of who Jesus was about taking care of others, and it was about this communal thing where it's like, for us, we're not an island unto ourselves with our faith. It's like it's meant to be something that's expressed through action and the way that we love those around us. And I just think that work that you're doing does just that. And the work that Community in Schools is doing, whether someone is a person of faith or not involved in it, it's like the work that is being done is good and needed and necessary work. It is the work of love. It is the work of justice. And I think that it's so important. And I'm so glad that you were able to be here today and share with us. And, we'll continue to reach out to our congregation, to kind of figure out the best way for us to be able to partner and to come alongside and serve. But I'm really hopeful that people that are listening today will be drawn to being willing to give of their time or in any way that they can to be able to help partner alongside Community in Schools and serve our community. So,
well, thank you so much, Kelly, and thank you to all of you with Icon Church. God bless you all.
Thank you,
and
Jana.
Have a marvelous week.
Have a great week. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Oh, well, that was so incredible. I met Jana probably, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe a month to 6 weeks ago, and we had a Zoom call, and she was just sharing with me everything that this organization is doing. When she told me that within 2 weeks they raised like $280,000 to like help people during the winter storm, I was like, in 2 weeks? I mean, it's incredible. And, I think this is such a great way for us to be able to partner and to serve those in our community. Again, if that's something that you're interested in, if you would like to volunteer, if you'd like to be a reading buddy or a mentor or even a pen pal, like she said, it's not, they don't have a lot of that, but like if that is something that you could do within your time constraints and like what you have available as far as, volunteering, I just think any way that we can partner with them to continue doing this good work in our community is really important. So yeah, you can, she gave the email address and the website link, and I think Amanda put the website link in the chat, so you can just go to the website if you want to volunteer. There's also an opportunity for us as a church, like if we want to focus on just one school and have all of Icon's volunteers focus on that one school, we can do that. But I also think we are kind of spread out, and so it might be beneficial for people, even those of you who are watching from Austin. The Community in Schools is all over. It's not just Hays County. It's like a national organization, but they are involved, as Jana was saying, all over in our area. So yeah. Her name is, Jenny said, can you share her full name? Her name is Jana Whittier. So, and I'm trying to see if there's any other questions. I don't think so. I think we addressed everything. So, all right. Well, as we wrap up here, we just have a couple of things to do. We do have another video to show you here in just 1 second. We're hoping that it works. Okay. So before we leave for today, just a couple of reminders. So we have our next in-person gathering next week at Buck's Backyard. And here's what we're going to do for that. Since we've been talking about where is the good and talking about the good that is happening around us, we're going to take some time at our in-person to all of us gather together and give all of you an opportunity to share the good things that are happening in your life, the good things that you are experiencing, the good things that you are a part of. We just want to take some time to do that as a faith community. So come ready to our in-person to share some of those things. We just want to celebrate with one another. We want to just spend some time soaking in the good that God is doing within us and within our own individual worlds that we are all a part of. So that's what we're going to be doing next week at our next in-person. And then lastly, I asked Pastor Amanda, if she would give us a really quick video. There's some cool new things happening with eKids. And so we just wanted to take a minute to highlight that for you, just to make all of the parents aware of some connection opportunities that we have coming up for eKids. So we'll go ahead and play this video from Pastor Amanda. We're going to attempt to play the video from Pastor Amanda.
There we go. Let's give this a shot.
Hey friends, Pastor Amanda here with an exciting update for our eKids families. This fall, we are inviting all of our eKids to join us for eKids Connection Cruise, happening on Sunday mornings from 11 a.m. to noon. These online small groups will provide our eKids with an opportunity to connect with one another and to connect with God through shared experiences, watching the weekly Bible story, and also engaging in an interactive activity that will help them connect what they're learning in their faith with their everyday life. If you would like more information on how to get your kiddo connected to their faith-specific eKids Connection Crew, go ahead and check out iconchurch.com/kids and click on the appropriate link to get your kids signed up to receive their specific Zoom link and their specific meeting information. We can't wait to celebrate what God is doing in the life of your child and your family every week at our eKids Connection Cruise. Check it out.
I don't.
Can you hit live? Can everybody hear me
Yes,
right now?
of course they
so
can.
you can hear me, you just can't see me.
Listen, give me 1 second. I honestly don't know why that video even played.
The one with Amanda just now? I thought you played that on purpose.
Here we go. Let's try this.
Hold on. We're trying. Here we go. Okay.
There.
Oh.
That was a workaround.
You know, I wouldn't have it any other way than us not knowing what we're doing half the time. I just think that's very appropriate. So
Cheers, everyone.
So anyway, yeah, so super exciting things for all of our students and for our kiddos. I just hope that you guys can get involved that way. It's a great way for your kids to be able to connect with their pastor and with other kids their age. So Amanda, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so anyway, that is all that we have for today. I cannot wait to see all of you next week at the in-person. I count down the days until from in-person to in-person because I just love gathering with all of you. So yeah, thank you so much for being here today. Remember that if you're interested in volunteering with community and schools, you can also email us, like if you need some more, help getting direction for that, or you can just go to their website and sign up to do that. And hopefully we'll see a bunch of you next week. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and we will see you either online or in person next Sunday. Have a great week, everyone.